Simplify the expression completely. Here we have 3 to the negative fifth power divided by 6 to the negative second power. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to split these two up. So I'm going to have 3 to the negative fifth power times 1 over 6 to the negative 2. Now I split that up just so we can work with them individually and not get confused. So 3 to the negative fifth power, that's the same thing as 1 over 3 to the fifth power. And then 1 over 6 to the negative 2, well, that's the same thing as 1 over 6 to the 2. That's the same thing as 1 divided by 1 over 6 to the 2, which is the same thing as 1 times 6 to the 2 divided by 1. So basically, this is just going to be 6 squared, or 36. And some people can just look at this and say, well, 1 over 6 to the negative 2, I'm just going to move this up here and make it 6 to the second power and be done, and that's fine. But remember, this is not a reciprocal situation necessarily, because what if you had, let's say, 4 over 6 to the negative 2? If you did the reciprocal, you would move the 4 down to the denominator, and that's incorrect. So you just want to be very careful. If you're going to think about it as a reciprocal, make sure you split it up first so the numerator is just 1. That's the only really way to make that work. Okay, so this 1 over 3 to the fifth is times 6 squared. We'll just leave it in that form for now. So we're going to combine these together again, and we're going to have 6 squared over 3 to the fifth. And 6 squared, that's the same thing as 36. And 3 to the fifth, that's 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Now I'm looking at 6 and 3, and I know that there's a common factor in there. So I'm going to rewrite this guy one more time. And oh, by the way, you could use a calculator for this, but I'm going to keep working it out by hand just so you can see how it all works out. Now, 36 is 6 times 6. I'm going to go back that way. That's over 3 times 3, 5 times. And then 6 times 6, well, each 6 is 2 times 3. So that's 2 times 3 times 2 times 3 divided by the 5 threes. Then what happens is these 3's can simplify out. There's a pair of 3's. There's another pair of 3's. So you're left with 2 times 2 on the top for the numerator. And then there are 3 3's left over in the denominator. So 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9, and then 9 times 3 is 27. So you have 4 27ths. Now let's take a look on a calculator how that would come out. Let's say we're going to do 6 squared, then divided by 3 to the fifth. So you get a repeating decimal there. And then I'm going to turn it into a fraction. So you get the same thing, 4 27ths. All right, so now I'm really confident this answer is correct. I checked it on my calculator. Okay, so to sum up here, when you have a complicated fraction like this, split it up into parts first and then work with each part individually to simplify and get positive exponents. Then go ahead and combine it back together and see if you can reduce from there.